Hello and welcome back to the KMaccTalks YouTube channel. We are here in lovely West Hollywood, California. I just moved down here, so very excited about it. So we're in a new park, just as hot. The sun is directly in my eyes right now. Should have brought sunglasses. Not sunglasses was a bad choice. So I'm going to be squinting again like the other videos, and so people can probably think I'm high while I'm doing a recovery talk, but I'm not. My contacts just do not like receiving direct sunlight for 30 minutes to an hour. So, I kind of got to squint. They might dry out a little bit. It gets rough, but I promise you guys, not high, just terrible eyesight, just dried up contacts. That's all it is, and it's going to be worse today. And this is a concrete table or whatever this is. It's concrete, and it's very hot right now for me to sit on. For some reason it is burning me up currently as we speak, so getting eye burning and ass cheek burning, so both things are burning very much. So we're going to try to speed through this portion. Let's keep it to 30 minutes or less here. I'll still probably ramble on even through the searing pain. God, I feel like I'm not wearing shorts. It's so hot. Oh my God. Anyways, okay, let's get through this, guys. I'll squint you through this, and let's do it. So when we left off, we kind of got through, we were talking about opiate addiction and what it did to me after college. I had just lost my job at Fox WFSB TV as an editor for the 6 a.m. newscast. A great editing job, 6 months out of college. Really could have rebounded the addiction I was starting in my hometown, or the addiction I started kind of senior year at college, and the anxiety and scaredness of getting out into the public and getting a real job and adulting. That scaredness and anxiety and all that fear I had, I could have conquered all that because I did get that great job as an editor at Fox. I was, in charge of the whole 6 a.m. news, got to do America's Next Top Model auditions, American Idol auditions, film them, not actually sing and model in them. That would be a big failure, but, I got to film them, do commercials. A great company. Could have had a pretty happy life there. But I did want more. I did want to do movie editing. That is what I always wanted. It wasn't quite the most exciting job for a 22-year-old, right out of college, I'll admit. So once I got fired and I felt like my life, was kind of in shambles now, I decided to go to, like I had spoke before, LA was a bigger move. It seemed like more competition. So I'm like, I'll go to the East Coast Hollywood in Wilmington, North Carolina. I went to college in North Carolina, Elon University. That's on the West Coast. Wilmington's on the East Coast on the shoreline, right above Myrtle Beach, basically. So I decided to go there because Screen Gem Studios was there. There was opportunities to edit movies. And it just felt a little easier, a little more comfortable than LA. And so I decided, I'll clean up my act. I'll go to a 30-day rehab, get out, and I'll get in a halfway house and do all that, and I'll find a job at Screen Gems or there's tons of independent films, tons of things going on in Wilmington, North Carolina at that time. It's since moved mostly to Atlanta because of like a film tax credit, political stuff I don't understand. But North Carolina voted to like higher taxes on films and ruin their entire film industry, so everyone left. And I don't know why Wilmington would do that, because now everyone moved to Atlanta and they lose a ton of like tourism and money. Like they've shot Iron Man 2 and 3 in Wilmington, and Robert Downey Jr. lived there, and they shot We're the Millers in Wilmington. Like you had Jennifer Aniston, Vince Vaughn there. That's where Steve Buscemi got famously stabbed. Vince Vaughn was hitting on some guy's wife, and Vince Vaughn and the guy got in a fight. Steve Buscemi tried to break it up, and he got stabbed. That's a famous story that happened in Hell's Kitchen in Wilmington, the same bar I used to always go to. So Wilmington was a cool hopping place, but, they lost it with that taxes, they got greedy, and everyone went to Atlanta. So, but at the time, it was a good place to be. I could have had a lot of opportunities if I did follow through with that there. It was a great place for me to start my career. I could have moved to LA once I started there, but things didn't go as expected. What do you know? I went down there, did the 30-day rehab, got into this halfway house. And the beginning, I did really good. I went to NA and AA meetings, tried them both there. AA was more just older people and people with just alcohol problems. And I had alcohol, but I had drugs more. Both were a problem, but right at that time, it was definitely drugs were the focus. So, AA just seemed like people I couldn't relate to and talk to because they're all 40, 50 years older than me and have like 30 years clean time. Great people and everything, but I need someone I could relate to that's 5 years older than me, that's got some years clean and, has done the same drugs and things I've done. So, you could really talk to them and they can relate. That's, in a rehab, I'm never going to relate to someone who is just book smart on, recovery and everything. I need someone who's actually been addicted and went through an addiction and recovered. That's the only person I'll listen to. If you just went to college and are book smart in addiction, I can't relate to you. I'm not going to learn from you. I shut you out immediately. So I need someone I could relate to that's went through the shit I went through and knows the pain and the hell that is addiction and withdrawal and trying to, mental strength to kick it. I need someone who can relate to that. And I found that in NA in Wilmington. In the meetings, it was great recovery network. Meetings were 100 people sometimes, a few of them, a lot of them. The weekend ones, they call the fashion show ones, were definitely 100 people. So it was a great place for recovery. I met some great friends that, will be lifelong friends, I'm sure. Are still to this day. I don't talk to them as much, but I should now. They're great people. They're like, when you start using again and you relapse, you think all those people are ashamed of you and everything, and you don't keep in touch with them. But they just want to hear from you. They just want to know you're okay and stuff. And sometimes you don't realize that. You're scared of them, or you think they're the enemy or whatever. But they do want to help you. They're just not going to bother you every day. Like, you got to call them. And that I didn't realize. That kept me using for a while. Because I basically was in the NA program. I had a good mentor, a friend that came in the program the same time as me off of relapse. His name was Jordan, and we kind of went through the program together. We stayed in the halfway house together, and I stayed exactly a year and a half clean, doing everything I was supposed to do in NA and everything, but I was going to meetings every day, sometimes 2 a day, really about meetings and everything. And I got a sponsor finally that I really liked. His name was Andre. He was a great, like a very vibrant speaker, really had a passion for recovery. You could hear it in his voice. So I got a great sponsor, but, I didn't do the steps. I didn't follow the suggestions they gave. Like, you really do have to do those. Those are really important. I know you're in there, you're like, I'm clean. I'm just staying clean. I'm going to meetings, I'm meeting people, whatever. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But you really do have to do those steps and things, because it shows why you did drugs. Like I said before, I had this great childhood and, nothing to complain about in my childhood. So why did I become this addict? And I could discover that through the steps, but I wasn't doing that. I instead just skated by, did the bare minimum, just showed up, but I wasn't finding out about myself, like, why am I this addict? Why am I this person that my parents raised me perfectly, and literally they feel like they're bad parents and they did a bad job and they did something wrong raising me when they did a perfect job. They were fine. Like, they did everything right, and I have them doubting if they were great parents because of my addiction, because when you're parents and you obviously think you failed, you raise a child with such a bad addiction, I can't blame them. I would think I failed too. So, that, and I could have, made them so proud by just staying clean there and showing that, that was just a temporary thing in life. And, that's kind of my goal now, is to, even though it stayed way more than temporary, that's how I want to make them proud, show them, yeah, you did raise me right. Like, I knew what I was doing was wrong. You have a conscience, you have morals. While doing drugs, you feel bad about the things. It's just when you're withdrawing and you need money to get the drugs, all that conscience, all that morals is thrown out the window, and you'll do whatever it takes during that time period to get your drugs. That's all that matters. Drugs are the only thing that matters at that time. So that you become that evil person. You'll steal, you'll walk into stores, Home Depot, grocery store, whatever. You'll steal anything. You'll steal from your family or friends, whatever. You'll do whatever it takes. Because at that time, you have no morals or conscience. Once it's done and you get the drugs, then you feel bad and stuff, But my parents couldn't know. They were just like, why don't you just say no? Why don't you just stop? You didn't understand how that. I just thought I needed that to survive. It was everything to me, and it's sad. It takes such a grip of you. It takes your mind, your body, it takes everything, your mind, body, and soul, really. And that's basically what I'll get to here. I'll just jump that year and a half I stayed clean. And I just, like I said, stayed in the halfway house, went to meetings all the time, at least once a day, if not more, hung out with clean people, got a sponsor. I went out on the weekend with other clean people and did clean activities, campouts, all that stuff. But I wasn't doing work. I wasn't doing steps. I was just coasting along, and that got me in the end, because after about a year and a half, I was like exactly 18 months clean, I met a girl in recovery, came to one of the meetings, and I'd always heard you never date in recovery. Never date early in recovery, at least 2 years until you start dating someone. And I thought that was bullshit. Like, there's no way. That's stupid, Like, you could date. I mean, especially if it's another recovering addict, you can relate to each other. You can help each other stay clean. It's perfect, That's what I thought. So, I started dating this person. I mean, slowly but surely, we'd go to the same clean functions and everything, and we started hanging out, and, slowly we're just hanging out and stuff, and I realize I start dating her. We like each other a lot. A month, very early into us dating, a month or two in, she says, listen, I feel bad, I'm going to tell you this, though, but I started doing Percocets, little Perc 10s. She had this ATV, this quadding accident, had some ligaments taken out of her shoulder or something. So she started getting, right before she dated me, she started using again. She got these like 120 Perc 10s every month. And she went to, pain management out there. So she got this bottle, and she's like, hey, you wanna do something with me? And I'm like, it's not heroin. I don't know. I'm not sniffing heroin. I'm sniffing Percocet, little Perc 10s, little tiny Perc 10. No big deal. I've done way more. I've done Oxy 80s, whatever the half morphine, what are they called again? Oxys. The half morphine, half oxy ones. I can't think of the name right now. I want to say Clonidine, but that's not it. It's whatever. That's not important. I've done way stronger pills than Perc 10. So I'm like, whatever. I'll just do a couple Perc 10s, sniff them up. Not a big deal. Won't even tell anyone. No one will notice. I'll just do it for a couple days. And be over. Nothing will happen. I won't get addicted. This is all good. It's with my girlfriend. I trust her. I trust myself. We're going to do it. We're going to be fine. We're in recovery. We go to meetings all the time. We're going to be perfect, okay? And yeah, well, what do you know? Spoiler alert, we were not perfect. So we started doing the Perc 10s and stuff, and did them for, sadly 120 only lasted, I don't know, it wasn't long, 3, 4, maybe 5 days tops. You go through all those, and like I said, 3 days, and you are already back addicted. You're back. You're addicted again. There's no halfway around it. I think 3 days is the limit. I mean, 2 days is even stretching it, but 3 days. I think we did 4 or 5. So we're already addicted again, and when those run out, we're like, fuck, we don't know where to get any pills or anything. Well, what do we know? I didn't know yet because I only knew recovery people. I only knew people in the meetings, recovery people. But what do you know? My girlfriend was from Wilmington. Well, actually, she was from Ohio, but she had lived in Wilmington for, I had lived there not even 2 years. She had lived like 5 or 6 years now. So she knew way more people. So she knew from back in the day a heroin dealer. So all we could get, she called up her old heroin dealer, and what do you know? He picked up. And so that's all we could get. That's all she knew. So we could get some heroin. And she calls and we get it because, we're already withdrawing now. Our minds are already tricked. We need it to survive again. And so we're like, we'll just do this once or twice. That's a big thing in addiction. You're lying to yourself, telling yourself you'll quit tomorrow, or I'm only going to do it this one time, or I'm not going to finish these bags tonight, or I'm gonna just spread these out for a week. You're always lying to yourself. This is the last time. I'll only do one more. It's always lying to others. You're a pathological liar, almost automatically. You're lying to your family, friends all the time. You almost get caught up in how many lies you have. You don't even remember how many lies you have amongst your friends, family. You got lies within lies. It's like fucking Inception. You got a lie within a lie within a lie. So it's just a crazy life to live. You always have to worry about, what did I lie to this person about? You see them, you're like, do I owe this person money? Or what did I lie to them for? That's basically your life. Like figuring out if you owe someone money or what you lied to them about, probably to get money. So, it's, So we, get the heroin, and we're still sniffing at this point. I hadn't got to the heavier artillery yet, but that's coming soon. So we're just, sniffing this heroin for a few days. I feel weird saying that there's a lot of people in this park. So it's kind of weird saying that out loud, so loud. But anyways, it's good. It's all for I gotta help people. If they knew, I'm trying to help. It's not for a bad reason. If they'll understand. Anyways, so yeah, we're sniffing these for a few days and everything, and then it's on to the races. I mean, it's just a slow descent from there. You're still going to meetings at first. Everything's still fine at first. You're still looking the same, talking the same. Everything's good, until you get broke, and then the lies start happening to get money, and you start having to miss meetings because you don't feel good. You're either sick or you're not, or whatever. So now that whole chaos begins.